There are things we can do. We bring it good news and we give it to you. We touch it for podcast and connecting people and culture from here and up out of the globe. Quality people who willing to serve. The blessing that time and the efforts are rest. The brothers giving us here and the promise of death. The work of my life without fear.
I live
Master.
Play body so make you I can't Sktv-Lib. Say my journey, Tina get I say my jamo. And you no money, the more I get you. And you love the more I get you.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grandbaza.
And I didn't ya to money, and I said ya to money, and I couldn't play ya to money, and I could do ya to money, and I didn't ya to money, and I said ya to money, and I couldn't play ya to money, and I could do ya to money, and I forget it now ya to money. That's the TV, and I don't forget it now. Cause you work on my ya to money. Yeah.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grandbaza.
There are things we can do. We bring it good news and we give it to you. We touch it for podcast and connecting people and culture from here and up out of the globe. Quality people who willing to serve. The blessing that time and the efforts are rest. The broadcast we giving are real and the promise from best. The work with my life without fear. From Grandfather, Nima to Lufa. From Riverside, River G to Chile. From Grand Crew, Bombing, Kidman, Monserrat, San to Bacalu. From Maryland, Punk to the Mikey B. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa.
Indeed, good afternoon, good morning, good evening to all of you, our cherry listeners. Those of you always, or if are watching us, or better say following us via the internet. Also, let me say the pleasant good afternoon, good morning to all of you. Good afternoon to all of you. Those of you who maybe your time zone is a little bit different from ours here in Liberia, especially Africa. Indeed, good afternoon, good evening, good morning to those of you. Maybe it's just early in the morning. I think by this time in Japan, I think it's maybe it's midnight or maybe it's in the morning or you may call. But again, good evening to all of you. Good morning from our end here. It's evening time. It's 4 minutes past 6. That's the time check. For matter of fact, it is the 28th day in the 4th month, the month of April. For matter of fact, time wait for no man. That's why when you are given the opportunity to do anything, you do it at your best, because time, two things that we can get in this life or we can pay for, no matter how rich, no matter how wealthy we are, we can pay for time, we can pay for life. So no matter how big, yeah, folks, good evening, man. Welcome to the show, the Tuesday, yes, indeed, the Tuesday edition of the Sktv show. 2 more days to go, and we'll be welcoming the month of May. For a matter of fact, some of us now, yeah, you know, we are no longer the featured leader anymore. Now, the male leader now, the featured leader. Well, we probably, in fact, we didn't mind the feature until all the politicians came and they ate all our features and so forth. So we are just hanking, and we are the hanking leaders. Help us share the show, people. The show will be interesting this evening. For a matter of fact, so many things to talk about, so many things happening back home. Our president, my own Deacon Joseph Yema Boakai, also out of the country in the US, where he's there receiving awards and so forth, back to back, and millions are now rolling down the line. We're hearing a lot of unconfirmed reports, better say information coming from the end there that yes, indeed, the IMF again, among them always say the IMF always putting us into higher poverty, but we keep going to the IMF for Let go, people. Help us share the show. I'm doing that already. Monk will be here with us. But today, as promised, we will look more into the vice president interview on yesterday. Mind you, there were a lot of claims and counterclaims and so forth about us Liberians. Some of us, our behavior, some of us, we are the reason why some of the foreign people, they owning properties, they owning this, because sometimes we go around buying some of the properties in our names on their behalf. And also we will look at what happened in South Africa. I don't know how many of you are following that incident that's happening in South Africa. For a matter of fact, I've finished almost 2 to 3 days now about what happened in South Africa, where the South Africans are beating on their own African brothers and sisters in the name of they wanting out of their country. They're beating on them. Yes, the people xenophobia. But to our common people out there, the people in South Africa, they're beating on other African citizens. Like for example, the Ghanaians, they beating on them, they saying that they should leave their country, that they cause a while, they don't get a job, while this thing happening. In fact, the people in our country, the people enjoying. So because of that, they're beating on them. In fact, that has sparked a lot of mixed reactions from around the world. Other people are saying that's bad. South Africa had to desist and they had to stop, because that's not the best way to go. Even if you have issue with people, foreign people, us here, we have issue with foreign people. What we're doing here is to tell our leaders that yes, indeed, tell the foreign people to do the right thing. Tell them, we're not going to beat on them. We're not going to jump on them. I think that's bad. But Ali already here with us. I think stay setting up. But help us share the show, people. The show will be interesting. So these are a few things that we'll be looking at this evening. The vice president talk about, everything we've been saying, even during the campaign time, everything that they keep saying, they will come back with these same things and make it look like, Liberian people know the problem already, but the problem can be solved. Where are we heading to if the people who voted, the leadership that's supposed to solve the problem, when they're coming back to all with crying, complaining here and there, then where are we heading to? So these are questions maybe we'll be asking all of you out there today. So is that failure on the part of our leadership? Do we really need complaints? Do we really need our leaders to be crying? Maybe we're looking for crying people instead of problem solver. But again, that's a country for us people. So we're looking for people who will cry. They will cry instead of solving a problem, looking for blame shifting, looking for who to put their blame on. The Akon will say, put the blame on me. So anyway, help us. Mark is already here. I don't know what he's still setting up. But Edward, let me recognize a few of you who are watching along with us this evening. But Edward Berkshire is also watching. Roberts Fasuli Jackley watching. And my good friend and brother James David also watching. And David Williams also watching. Jellington Cole also watching. Thanks to all of you for watching, and it's still interesting. Today marked day 2 also of the armed forces of Liberia recruitment process is still ongoing, and for me, I support 100% the way they are doing it, the way they are putting everything on the internet so that we can see it, because there are a lot of all we don't trust nothing. We don't even know which side we're on with, but we trust nothing. Anything people say is still the same. But again, we're also getting some news from the Phoebe Hospital there in Bond County that indeed the nurse they assist, even though the bishop, the church people, they always going there, but that place they stay, Wahala stay there. I don't know where we're heading to as a country. Have settled. Also, it's this serious challenge, and our people are suffering. So the Phoebe Hospital is still the same. The workforce, they are still complaining about the same system in and out. Uday, Mato Gay, thank you for joining us. Mato Gay Owi, Rich and Flomo, thank you. And my good friend and brother King Ask for Right, thank you for joining us. Sidiki Traore, thank you for joining us. You have to help us share the show. I don't know, but brother Ali, we don't want to go too much this way. I think you have to show your face moving forward. We keep saying that we want to have, we don't want to be restricted. Facebook is seriously giving us tough time. yeah, we stay challenged with the way, yeah. So at least, even at least, if some of you would just show your face when you are talking, then maybe if you're a little bit busy, you can, yeah, have yourself maybe covered. That would be good for us. But not to have almost everybody on Blink team, yeah, is seriously challenging to us, and we don't want to have our panelists, most of you on break. No, you people are so important to us also. Yeah, even though you take all of your time, working time to be with us. Yeah, but you go always. So folks, yes, Labrador, yeah, we did though. Labrador, yeah, we did. Let me see what I can get. Aliu here. Okay, good. Aliu is here. I don't know whether you fetch and ready, whether you set and ready for us. But again, before that, yes. Okay, good, good. Brother Aliu is here. Brother Aliu, good afternoon, good evening, good morning. How everything, my dear brother?
Good afternoon from my end, Mayborn. Good afternoon to our listening audience and followers. I'm okay, glad to be here. How's Mama Labira? How's the family?
Wonderful. We are all doing great. By the grace of God, we are moving on with everything, even though we're in a very serious and challenging time of our lives where we are still not having stable energy. But howbeit, life is just the way it is. Sometimes we get a little cools in time. Sometimes we get heat, unnecessary heat. That means whenever power is switched off, we suffer a lot from severe heat. Some of the elements that you know that these are some of the things that we go through at night. Sometimes we sweat uncontrollably. We sweat. Sometimes I have to work throughout the night, my brother, training mainly because many can't even sleep. So to tell you some of the things that we go through um, at night, especially when there are no power. But again, we are doing great. Our president is on our side, Aisha. In fact, for a few days, rather, he's on our side to you people. So maybe you will give us a little update about our president, even though we'll be receiving some information.
I can only give you up there, but that's not true. I can give you up there, but you suffer.
Oh, God. All right. Yeah, yeah. So we're good to go.
Seriously, when American, yeah, don't follow the thing that they can be doing, just wasting the country resources every night and then coming for fully thing. Like, I can give you up there, but my president, that not Trump.
And that's the thing. If I say we already starting with that, let's go to the to the president with the information about IMF giving. I want to more, but anyway, more will join us very soon about that. For me, you know, some of the monies every time Liberia sound the other one, Liberia sound the other one, Liberia with the other one. At the end of the day, my brother, the world can say in our layman term, there's no he, no tea. The livelihood of our people stay the same, but they want us to celebrate all of this the news. Like, one of my colleagues was telling me, oh, maybe they say IMF and the other group of people, somebody said 266 million, and the other group of people say in fact they will get 200 million for I don't know, rest production or so forth back to back. But at the end of the day, my brother, all of these things we just hear it, and sometimes it becomes something else. But what say you with that? Some more will soon join us. But what say you with that news?
IMF coming to give Liberia another money again.
My brother, oh yeah, again, say 200, 266 million. Eh?
No problem. No, I mean, I'm happy that America, thanks to President Trump, they are not misusing our taxpayer, we the taxpayer, our money anymore by sending it to unserious country around the world. We can't be here working 24/6. They be sending our money to country instead of them using the money to better the lives of their people, but they use it for themselves. And when you come to serve, you came to serve the country to better the lives of your people. So when people are sending money to your country, use it for the intended purpose. Instead, the money we send, your law because they're buying for the 5,000 local for agriculture, bring flying around, misusing it. So thank God it's not coming from us here. Even though that's it, we pray for Liberia and we pray when they give it to them, they should use it for the intended purpose.
Wonderful. Mark is here already. The man who know more about the entire IMF stuff, how IMF, their entire operation and so forth, battle. But welcome on first. I know you were doing
I'm doing great. You know, when I wake up, when I see news about Liberia, like, you know, I just another one of the single stuff. That's why the brother said yesterday, Pastor Comey, he's like, until we can take a different twist, that country will remain like that forever. Because, you know, the politicians believe that our people are not inclined, that we are too dumb, that we can just do anything, get a scope political point. That way they can maintain their grip on power at the detriment of the people. I told folks, I said, when you read history, all the globalist organizations, from the World Health Organization to the United Nations to the IMF and the World Bank, the reason the IMF and the World Bank were created was for the U.S. It was an infrastructure bank. After World War II, Europe got destroyed. America rebuilt Europe through something they call the Marshall Plan. And when you are doing a massive infrastructure project, you need a bank to finance that project. That's why IRS was created. So the Spain, the Italy, all these European countries that call themselves our so-called ally today, that some of them coming back to revisit the agreement, it was because of America. Because by now, all of them were been speaking German. The Germans were about to run over them until America on D-Day. 1941 said, no, enough is enough. When U.S. forces stormed the beaches of Normandy and pulled on and pushed the Germans at the time, the Germans and how they call it, the Japanese, they were one fighting against the Allied forces. It was because of America that Europe survived today. And after the war, America had to rebuild Europe's entire infrastructure. So they came out with the World Bank and the IMF. But these days, the IMF is used as a tool for stupid, corrupt, and blank hole countries. So Liberia sits at the top of the list. Or the IMF don't give you money. They only put you in debt where you pay higher interest rate, because before I can give you a loan, I got to do something called credit worthiness. How you manage your state resources, whether it's about corruption, broken institutions. So a country like Liberia, they pay anywhere between 21 to 23% in interest payment. You know, they come away, the IRS said a defensive monetary policy or extended credit facility or spectral drawing right. You cannot even use your own money in your. The reason they target these countries like Liberia, because they know we are very corrupt. They know that we are corrupt. And when you are corrupt, you're going to pay higher interest rate. That's how the banks survive. So the IMF is like a bank. They are looking for useless, corrupt, and worthless country so that they can make more profit, because every time you pass your budget, you must pay the external debt, creditor first, before you can pay the people that you took money from within the country. So IRS know that the IMF know that they got a guaranteed income in terms of their interest payment every single year. So the other 200 million they come to take. Why would a country that claimed to have record budget in history be taking money from the IMF? I thought we just received a $200 million package from the, I think, Accelometer or yeah, you got a 1.2 billion budget, or historic budget, never before seen in history, and you are still taking 200 million. So at the end of the day, maybe it will be like a repeat of the Georgia administration, where we took in, I think we took in 213 million, and we had to pay 63 million in interest payment. So by the time Joseph Boga take another 200 million, bro, we have paid almost close to maybe 135 to 140 million in interest payment. Can you imagine that? I'm not talking about the loan itself. I'm just talking about the interest payment on the loan. But guess what they will do? They will take it because they know even if they are not in power, somebody will come and inherit that debt. Government is continuing, so they will still take it and steal it anyway. And at the end of the day, we will become poor and useless and worthless country without making progress. But it will create this impression that they are working hard, they are bringing money. And IRS could care less. Like I said, they look for corrupt country, and that's why they keep pumping money. Let me tell you something, Mabel. Just recently, right, in Ethiopia, I think we'll talk about that on the show. Ethiopia undertook one of the most expensive infrastructure projects, the dam that they just built in Addis Ababa. They spent $5 billion on that dam. It's one of the largest now on the continent. Do you know how they finance it? They never took a penny from the IMF or World Bank, because they understand the implication of putting your country in debt. You go and take $5 billion in loan. You know how much you're going to pay in interest payment? But guess what? Because they are so responsible, they make some adjustment, they add some extra taxes, they generate their own money, and they finance their own debt project in Ethiopia, one of the largest now on the record in Africa. But let me stop there. And you're talking something about South Africa, but let the discussion go around. I will come in with that.
Yes, indeed, Mark. We will come to other South Africa, then we'll move to the vice president for the day. I think that will be, but Mark, actually, I just like the way you know everything step by step. And most of our people out there who don't know these things. In fact, some of our people who even claim to be educated, some of them they run with the information sometimes without investigation. So in short, no money coming here free. The money you just see. IMF, these people here and there, these people you running away here and there. At the end of the day, they gave you money for interest. They gave you money for loan, or what you may call. At the end of the day, you will pay back. And most of the money, sometimes when we place the money, the money just say, or if I talk about something, we place the money in the hands of the politicians because you got to make sure that the speaker, I don't know what kind of budget, a social budget, or what kind of, I don't know, happiness, or so
entertainment budget.
See that kind of usefulness. People sending money for you using $500,000 for speaker entertainment to go drink liquor and be married after every 6 months.
I need to switch to South Africa. So that's
well,
it.
I'm
You're gonna be happy.
That money not coming for America. My tax I paying you see for my children to get quality education.
So the money that will be coming, the most we the one will pay that money back, and how we will pay that one now and with us. But at the end of the day, the money will go to people entertainment for them to be happy. The man, even when somebody may invest to a horse, you got to pay for that man entertainment. See the kind of money. But anyway, we're going to our days.
And maybe something important about taking the loan from these or World Bank and IMF. The one thing the poor man does not understand is every time you inject, that's why they get to GDP ratio. How much you get in the country in terms of goods and services, or how much you can produce at any given point in terms of the debt that you owe to creditors around the world. So the poor man does not understand that the more debt we undertake, the less the government is capable of spending in Liberia. So they will not be able to build roads, they will not be able to build hospitals because the first thing they got to pay their external creditors. So you should be mad whenever you hear IRS sending money to Liberia. Now, when you have a responsible government that know how to tighten a belt in economics, they call it austerity. Austerity means the government cutting down wasteful spending so that they can put the money back into the economy and reducing the labor force, looking at some useless or worthless institutions that are not serving the country where you cut them off, like what Ghana did. Ghana look at like 9 ministries that are like, you know what? By 21st century standard, you are not serving us any good. We are taking you off because it's just a waste of money. When you there are some times that a country will take on the debt, but those are responsible countries that are doing regular or I can call it capital intensive spending in the country so that the economy can grow much bigger. So when it comes to taking on debt, it's not always a bad thing. But the question is, how responsible is the government and how much of that debt will flow to you? That's what we keep talking about. And like I said, in the case of Liberia, they are the one that paying the highest. Let me tell you something, Mabel. Do you know that a country like Ukraine, when Ukraine take money from IMF, normally can pay interest payment 1.3%? Can you imagine? They're paying 1.3% to 1.5%. A country like
that kind of high
because they are Europeans, that they are the funding people, they are the one that were intended for. When a third world African corrupt country take a loan, they pay anywhere between 19 to 23%. So you do the math. If you take 200 million, let's just assume at a rate of, let me just be conservative to say even 15 or 18%. You know how much you pay back in interest payment alone? Not even the loan itself. It means all the money that's supposed to be spent in that country, you'll be paying debt. And when you're paying debt, you cannot make progress. But anyway, that's okay for that.
Yeah, but like you said one time, Monk, the last time, this is why they will continue to give Liberia more money because they make it like the analogy you made the last time. You know, like in this country where you and I go to the car dealership to get a car, when my credit is bad, they prefer giving that car to me than to give it to you, Monk, because you get a good credit. So when I get a bad credit, my interest rate will be very high. But if you get a good credit, your interest rate will be low. They will not make money out of you. So that's it. Liberia get a bad credit, so people will want to get their money with high interest rate so they can benefit from them. So that's it.
And you have to pay them more. Just say every time when there is maybe budget, all of these debts and so forth, batch over, we got to pay certain percentage. After that, again, maybe if your credit, well, it's up to you. The people know that in fact that you always pay or you will pay that debt, no matter how broke you think you are. You still have to pay that debt. But all in all, what we are saying here, people, in short, is that we uselessly use these monies. That's the thing. We are not benefiting from the loans. It's not wrong for you to take loan, but it's wrong for you to take loan from that. For example, so many banks are right before that you to get loan. Some of you, when they get your loan, you go back to them. Can you imagine? You tell loan to go and do business. Like for example, that when you told the people, that when you told the bank, that oh yeah, please give me their loan so that I can go maybe and face their role or to do this or maybe to do business. Like for example, now as individual, you want to do business. The people give you their little loan. You take the loan, you go buy television, you go buy cell phone, you go buy jean trouser, you go buy blouse or t-shirt, you go buy shoe. My brother, how will you pay that money?
That's why they used to do Mayborn. They say, oh, when you take access bank money, that Nigerian bank, they can go chant on you. So at the end of the day, you can pay that money. They take all your TNet and lie. When I was in Liberia, when I was in working, you know how many times I took money from Access Bank? They the one even said used to call me because I took this money for internal purpose. The moment I take that money today, the next day I put in that money into it. And that's it. I was doing my core business and other things. I had my motorbike getting running because I was taking the money for internal purpose and I was putting it there directly. And
So
when the bank gave me 6 months, I paid that money in 5 months time. And that's how we're operating over and over. It almost like in America here, I listen to people, they will say, oh, tax refund, the money that when they give it to you, the people they feeding, the woman they get the money to you when you take off $5, the money finish. If you say my tax refund when I get it next year, I go to change my furniture in my house. I go to take $10,000 car. And this was why you use your money for. How will you say the money can just go foolishly? No. This play you make for the
us, we don't use all the loans, even if 500 million, 10, I think we call 10 million, 50, or all the millions at the end of the day. Which purpose or where are we using this money? If not for some other entertainment, because you not be having money, then government not paying, so government be forced to go pay this year.
You know, there's a video I will share with you guys. This former Nigerian, I think foreign minister, this lady, I think she worked with the IMF. The lady said,
send it quick, let me see what the bill.
I will find it. I will find it. She was talking about the IMF. The lady said, since the World Bank and the IMF were funded after World War II, there was not a single country from Africa that got out of poverty as a result of the IMF and World Bank up to today's date. So it has been more than 80 some more years. Now, if you've been giving poor countries in the name of helping them out loans for them to get out of poverty, and 80 some more years later, they are still in poverty, then why it tells you about the loan? That it was never meant to take poor country, it was meant to make them even poorer. So the more money you borrow from the IMF and the World Bank, the poorer you will become until you can get responsible government and responsible leadership. That's why, you know, it was one of the things, maybe when you do history, you know the guy who they assassinated, Thomas Sankara from Burkina Faso. It was one of the things that he was he was against external debt. Because he said, his philosophy was, debt is colonialism, is another form of slavery. So we came from colonial slavery to economic slavery, because when you take those loans and you look at how much you are paying interest payment, then it means there is no way for the country to get out of poverty. So technically, he was saying that the IMF and World Bank were created properly to keep third world country into poverty, because they were not meant to take you out of poverty. And that one of the reasons the Westerners had problem with him, the undermine his government assassination, everything. That was one of the things he pushed radically in Burkina Faso. That we should take
to you, Mark, and that's just the fact, because even if, for example, they use, for me, I know you understand most of the NGOs, I know you understand most of the organizations.
But the same thing happened recently when I tell you the NGO. The NGOs, Melbourne, the NGOs, like I said, when JFK became president, it was a way of promoting American interests around the world. And you know, the USAID. Up to the 90s and early 2000s, it became a money laundering thing. That's why I said it was a very good thing that they got rid of it, because only 12 cents of every dollar, statistically proven. Can you imagine, Melbourne, I gave you $1 to take you out of poverty to help you, and you only receive 12 cents. All those so-called NGO and the people that are administrated, they sit in Washington DC, they steal the people money, and you call that a help? No, that is not a help. As a matter of fact, they started engaging into programs that were never even related to American foreign policy. So the main reason why those institutions were created, you deviated from it to do your own thing, you got rich, and the countries are not even benefiting. So why the need of having them? You are just costing American taxpayer a bunch of money and you not even get the benefit. So it was useless. Come on, man. That's just the reality. But back to South Africa, maybe when you talk something, you said something very important.
Yes. So let's go to other South Africa month. You know, when it started first, people think that Donald Trump was only maybe, oh yeah, Donald Trump was taking the white from South Africa because of it. But I think the white is reaching now. people now try not to understand. Say, no, I'm not thinking this is only about what kind of color or what not color. They're not going beyond color. But what say you more? Because for me, I think I've been following the entire trend.
Yeah.
It's bad for us.
Yeah, the xenophobia in South Africa is getting, you know, I tell you, I say the only reason we get this negative output because the media in this country, they choose not to cover reality. Everything is politically driven and motivated. So if you watch TV now in America, you're not watching news. That's just what I would tell you. And it's been happening since 2013. It just got worse now in recent memory. In South Africa, maybe South Africa is a industrialized country, even though they are in Africa, but they are one of the top bigger economic power. Maybe South Africa, Nigeria, and all those, Egypt, maybe I would say the top three. Maybe when you are doing better economically, people always come to that country in search of greener pasture. That's just how life is. And it happens all over the world. It's just typical of human nature, human migrate. When a country is doing better, people go to. I told you, you read the Bible. When Joseph took a children to Egypt, why? Because there was famine in Israel, and Egypt was the biggest economy on the planet at the time. So the Jewish people had to migrate. They were there for 400 years into slavery. The Egyptian was so powerful that they even took the Israeli and used them as slaves to work their fields. So it's not nothing new. It's something that's been happening since the inception of mankind. So South Africa is going through an economic turmoil right now. Lack of employment, global economic shutdown, the war with Iran. And whenever the economy gets bad or when things go down south, people shift the blame to immigrants that come into their country because you don't have too many jobs. When you have less jobs or fewer jobs, they believe the people of that country are entitled to the opportunity that are given. They won't focus on immigrants when things are going okay because everybody enjoying, who cares? But the moment it happens, economically, you know who they start blaming for their economic problem? Foreigners. And let me give you a point in history. They beg they can call Ghana must go. Do you know the history of Ghana must go? Mabon, do you know the history of Ghana must go or Ali? Any of you guys?
We just saw that bear, I think, doing the water or something like that.
Okay, good. Okay. Yeah, I think I was doing the water.
Let me give you a breakdown. Ghana went through economic tough time in the early to mid 60s. The economy was doing better. And at the time, Nigeria wasn't doing okay. So Nigerians used to come to Ghana too, to come and look for a better job. They will be teachers, and jobs that the typical Ghanaians couldn't do. The Nigerians were coming to Ghana. Other than Ghana, Nigeria was not doing or drilling oil. The big European oil giant never went to Nigeria at the time. So Nigeria was struggling. So in 1969, Ghana came up with a policy they called the alien or compliance policy. And you know where it was? It was about clamping down on foreigners that were in the country. So Ghana expelled more than 3 million foreigners in that country, most of whom were Nigerians. So the Nigerians were forced to leave from Ghana. Guess what happened in the early 70s to the mid 70s? Things flipped. Ghana started going through economic distress while Nigeria started experiencing an oil boom. So when Nigeria was doing better economically, all the Ghanaians in other countries from Burkina Faso, everybody was running to Nigeria because Nigeria was doing better. They started drilling oil, the economy getting bigger, they're bringing more foreign investment. All the Ghanaians went to, to Nigeria in search of better living. They were on that until the early 1980s. In 1983, guess what happened? After the Iranian hostage crisis and the oil embargo, even Liberia were affected. Our affected top administration when our men said they can bring red for cheaper price. They never understood the war economics at the time and the dynamics. So when he hit Nigeria under the presidency of this guy, how they call him, man? I forget his name, Shehu Shagari, a military leader. Nigeria was going through tough time, the economy getting bad. Who they show that finger to? We want Ghanaians out. Matter of fact, he even made it based on the history because he believed that Ghana did it to them. His own was, we gave you less than a month. If you cannot leave this country, we will prosecute you and put you in jail. That had Ghanaians, because they were so in hurry, they came up with this bag they call Ghana must go. That had that bag because that's a bag you can produce like in 30 minutes, you can get put together because that's what they were using at the time. So that had that name came up, Ghana must go. And of all the immigrants that were expelled, like I say, all the foreigners that were expelled out of Nigeria, the vast majority of them, more than 90% of them were Ghanaian. That had that bag came out, they call Ghana must go. So we are just running a cycle of history. Everything that happened tonight, nothing new happened before.
On what you are saying, Mark, for me, I'm a little bit shocked because so are these some of the reasons, or is that because of maybe their own economy is not really booming, things not fine with them? So the best way to go is to
ask the foreigners.
And among are they doing it the right way? Let's look at the procedure too, though, because sometimes I can still recall too. People used to say, "Oh yeah, you know, Liberia, people used to run here, for things here and there." But at the end of the day, for us, I think it was a war that made most of our people to run, maybe on their own or to go away. But more, are they proceeding rightly, or maybe there should be another way to handle the situation?
They are not proceeding in the right way, but that's human nature. We don't expect every South African to follow the procedure. That's why the government will take a step, because they know internationally it does not reflect better on their record in terms of global perspective now. So the government already made an announcement. They will clamp down on people who are chasing after these foreigners or foreign workers in their country. But what I'm saying is just typical of human nature for people to behave that way. That when things get tough, the local people, you ain't supposed to be here because anything my country produces will be for me. The reason we don't do this thing like bro, because we were never taught how to be patriotic. We were never taught how to put our own first. People can say, "Oh, the Ghanaians, because that's how they were trained." Anything in Ghana must first go to a Ghana man. The left one will come to you, but
even if you go into the local market, you can have any kind of foreign person selling here. They prefer to buy from their own.
Yes, that's what they used to do. Our people that were there, Ghana men can be selling dokun for 1 Ghana cedi. Even or you the Liberian man, you selling it for maybe 25 cents Ghana cedi. They prefer to go buy from Ghanaian than to buy from you the Liberian.
But maybe there is the thing. In those countries, the people want to control their own economy. In our country, we glorify and worship these poor people from other tier world country for the middle. You got to get on store. You are not taught nationalism. You just accept anything and do anything. Look at common the illegal money. Maybe you ever go to Ghana and go take shower and go put in their ground?
And that's the thing.
But
even the Chinese people, the Chinese people
go to China as a black man.
Like you found that they can easily execute people for wrongdoing.
Yeah, can you go to China and do something illegal like money? You crazy? They will burn you to death. Matter of fact, it's a communist state. They don't even go by democracy or law or rule of law. But they can come to Liberia and do anything that they want from anywhere in the world because that's how you were trained, that's how you were taught. The Ghanaians don't take that crap. Ghanaians should be prioritized. Oh, the Ghanaians, I said, no, they are just nationalism because that's why they ingrained in them from day one. Anything a Ghana man control, another Ghana man should be given first priority before anyone else. But you don't do in your country, so you call it something that no, they call it patriotism and nationalism. My country come first. If I get 10 jobs, when Ghanaians come to apply, I should give it to a Ghanaian if I can give it to any Liberia or foreign. No, Ghanaians must be satisfied first. That's just how it is because it's a country. It's the only place they will have all the rights in the world and nowhere else. So they should be given priority over anyone or anybody. But you don't do that. But anyway.
Well, yeah, more quickly before Brother Ali come on, I think similar thing that happened. I think during the war between US and that I got it Iran. Sorry to those of you, some of you, because we're bringing in some of the thing because the few time with the NATO stuff, I think Donald Trump will also complain that you people complaining about Iran, but you people keep doing business with the same Iran. So I mean, in short, you are empowering the member you claim to the enemy.
Yeah, and we get oil. They don't want to buy our oil. They believe our oil is expensive and it will cost them more in transportation costs. Can you imagine? We are in a military alliance with NATO. We are the net exporter of oil in the world. We produce more than Saudi Arabia and Russia combined right now. But the Europeans who call ourselves an ally, they would never come to buy American crude. They want to go and buy from Russia. But they want the U.S. to go and protect them against Russia. Maybe make that make sense. You are the one on the radio.
Because this is interesting. No one know why God. Let me tell you today, even if you open the line, most of the caller they will tell you the behavior of Ghanaians. I think maybe they will only tell you a little bit and say, oh yeah, I think maybe the Nigerian or maybe the sorry though, but these are fact. It doesn't mean that the Ghanaians are bad, no. But each of what we are saying is that they love their country and they love their people. But in Liberia, maybe we having shocked. Hey man. You would prefer to come and credit from Mabon. Or you will go west side Mabon or somewhere near Mabon and buy from that other person who come from elsewhere. But when you want credit, you come to Melbourne.
No, yeah. Maybe you said something that what we the Liberian can do. Yes, Melbourne is selling, Melbourne get a shop. When I want credit, I go to Melbourne. Oh, my brother, you know it now. He say, Auntie pay this and that. My dollar will send me money. Then Melbourne will credit me. The day I get money, let's say, oh, that Melbourne, I can go to credit. I'm going to Monk to go back. That's exactly what we can do. Yes, that's Liberian right there.
What's up? The menstrual season.
Yeah, and that battle. Why don't we?
The camera got me on interview. Not 100%. I think.
No,
yeah. That would be okay for us. Thank you, boss. Everything, but if I see your comments talking about what is that? Is that Chinese president?
I know. Yeah, no. It was a typo. But right, let me say good evening and good afternoon to you guys. Mong, Maybon, and then Ali. You know, what Mong was talking about, that's what I was trying to address. You know, the minister he talked about, Dr. Ngozi, and you know, she was the foreign minister at the time. We should talk about that, those debt that people owe and all those kind of things, how it becomes a burden, like an albatross at the feet of those poor countries, you know. And then with regards to the Ghana Mago situation, Shagari was the first guy he was the first civilian president elected. But when they had economic problems, Sheikh Shagari, that's in fact that had led to his overthrow by Buhari. They go on Buhari. Buhari became president first time. He overthrew Sheikh Shagari, the civilian president at the time. That where the whole Ghana must go scenario happened, like Monk talk about back in 1983 or whatever year it happened, you know. So those are the things, but it happened globally because a lot of the things you saw that even Mr. Trump was talking about it, how people are invading the United States. A bulk of it boils down to this job issue because people they could settle down for anything for menial jobs, and you know. And then because they don't have a status, so he coming over here, he's willing to do any kind of menial job just to survive. So even in Europe, that way you see the whole blowback about this people, you know, the movement of illegals and all this kind of thing across those things. It all boils to economic reason, Mong and Maybon. So countries will push back, like in the case of South Africa, right? Because mind you, South Africa is currently at odds with especially the United States and some other Western power because of the same situations that of course is heavily driven by the fact that they were apartheid regime before and their economy were heavily controlled by the white. But now it's no longer the case. Now that they are taking control of their economy and they've kind of been strangulated in so many different ways. So they will start to push back against all the foreign nationals there. I mean, unfortunately, you know, it's a bad situation. But it's a global phenomenon. That's an issue thing that Mon stated. I just wanted to drive that home, you know. But all the debts in Liberia accumulating here and there, that's what's going to happen. Even if you're accumulating the debts, you're infusing the debt in the economy. But the question there is that there's no economic backing because meaning you don't have investors coming in your state. You don't have the atmosphere for people to come in to even try to salvage some of these debts for you through their investment in the economy, wherein people will get employed and by paying back money because like you go to the bank, if you owe money, meaning the intention is to pay it back on a timely basis. Otherwise, the interest start to accumulate to a point that even the interest will be more than what you took. And you know, because you're not paying it on time, you don't have the capability of paying it. So those are the problems that Liberia is facing. So no matter how much money you're borrowing, you're going to be accumulating debt on yourself. That's why you see the likes of General Tuare employ the strategy to say, I don't want to owe anybody. Whatever we're doing right now, we're going to do our own thing here. Our resources is going to multiply itself in a way that will sustain our economy. And you know, you might call him dictator, you might call him military guy, so be it. But he's trying to salvage a country's economy and not accumulating so much debt. Sometimes people even willing to give it to him and say, no, we don't need it. This is what we're going to do with our economy. So that's what driving a lot of those xenophobic, you know, and then economic, you know, war, if you may. at this point in time. I just wanted to point those things out, man. But it's great to see you guys.
Let me bring out this point before I think about the but let me just bring out the point. One of my homeboys, right, we're always having discussion. You know what kind of question I asked me one time? He said about Mongo, the whole thing, yeah, about the whole IMF and World Bank. He said the Westerners said they hate corruption, right? That's the standard in the West, that they love institutions and they hate corruption. But why is it that the money, even the West or the most corrupt leader, are still guaranteed a loan? I said because that's why in third world country, our economic model, they always take their marching orders from the Westerners. How we can come about spending, when to implement austerity. Matter of fact, they even got a unit that working in our central banks and our finance ministry. So we are making the reason they are there is to guarantee their payment. That's why they expand those individuals to come in our country, all the ministries, and they are working in collaboration with the government because they know that at the end of the day, no matter how corrupt your president is, he will still have to pay their loan. That's a guarantee. And when you are guaranteed your money in terms of repayment and high interest, why would you want to make it harder for people to take money? You want to make it easier for people to take money. So that's just why it is.
And more to that, these are same people that sometimes they come up with a lot of reports, though.
But why you think the report is horrible? The report is there so that you can do things in a way that guarantee that money being paid. That's why they come out with their report. That's why they make recommendations to you. So you are not the one running your economy. They are indirectly running the economy because you got to get their money out fresh.
Maybe it's a pressure valve. It's a pressure valve. They're going to open it on you. And the idea is they want to get that money out of you. And just imagine they're going to cajole you into taking these money. Oh, don't worry about it, man. You know, XYZ can happen. Oh, sorry. This is the problem, guys. I don't let it get this because when I'm working from home, I get all these calls coming in. But listen, I'll call them back. So that's the situation, maybe on the opening vibes on you to mount some pressure on you. You know, and you got to be there now. You got to be very strategic on it. You got to be strategic, especially if you have a leader that don't have the gravitas for the international community. People like Ellen Johnson, Salida, people like the weird that could call friends and then try to pull some strings for them. If you don't have those kind of situations, it becomes difficult. What makes you think Liberia had all of that waiver, Mabon? Because you had a leader that could, just by the fact she get out of waiver yesterday, she still accumulated a lot of debt even before leaving. She could not salvage a lot of those debts that she accumulated. And, you know, because the willpower, just imagine if you get a 67 or whatever bogus agreement, so-called investment coming and you're not getting the monies, you're not going to pay back these debts. But it will cajole you and keep taking. And at the end of the day, their balance sheet is going to show something because it become accounted because something like receivables. And you know, you're going to put it over there, you say, yeah, man, my books are looking good here. But the liability portion is not being paid, but it's still accumulating over the period. And that's what happened with all these kind of so-called debt issues. You got to be strategic about it, Mabel. And look, let me tell you this. This is what happened to Guinea. When Toure was in power, and in fact, when Guinea gained independence in 1958, Toure gave France the option. He said, look, if you want, even your pipes that you got in this place, that if you want to take it, you can take it. But our resources are going to be controlled by us. And that how Guinea had a virgin economy up to the point of Toure's death. Look, I went to Guinea in 1993. Maybe people were still laying on their mattresses over there. You know, the grass that they put together. I slept in homes in Guinea that never had roof in it. I call it no ceiling. Even the road, there were no bridges. People were still using the ferry like how Brother Deshi can talk about. Indeed, what they were using the ferry to put your car on there across the water. Because they maintain their natural resources for the good of Guinea. And today, that's what they are benefiting. You know what it means to build an $800 million a railroad in less than 3 years on a Dumbuya? That coming from all the way the forest region and going to the capital. That's why your whole issue about the railroad thing in Liberia with Guinea is not even going to materialize because the people don't really need it anymore. They really don't need it anymore. So you got to be strategic, maybe. But again, it is what it is. You know?
Yeah, wonderful. But Ali, quickly, what say you? Because I'm about to play the vice president of some of his in fact, say yesterday interview, but Mom mentioned about if we were happy, or if we are happy to talk about the $1.5 billion budget, why are we still thinking about taking loan or maybe wanting to credit? Why are we going, or maybe going this way, or why are we thinking about crediting if we have $1.2 billion budget, or maybe are we not sure of the budget or something is wrong somewhere? What's the quickly before I play this video? Then maybe I will leave you on. I'll thank God about maybe this way. Ali, I will leave you on for the news break at 7 so that you people can continue with the show and I will join you people. But go ahead.
But I can't really understand that, bro. With all the money we get, all our resources, now we get $1.2 billion budget, and we say one be passing around for people to be giving up money. And like we said, all the money they coming to the country, we know what they can do with it. At the end of the day, we stay poor and poorer. All the big money coming to the country, where is it going? You see, so that's why I can understand when the other person say, "Oh yeah, we get and 50 million from the other country, we get 10 million from the other government." And all that money, I don't know. They can get promised that they don't give them the money. I don't really know because all the money coming to the country. But again, this is the bureau for us. Like I said, himself as vice president for 12 years. Everything I can squander everything. So that's the city. Government in, government out. They will call all the BB money name. Like they that $1.2 billion budget today. We don't know how far it has gone. They stole Mr. Kumi out there, and today they want to work on it because Mr. Kumi was talking when he become president, he can raise the country budget to $1 billion, and you know how he was going to do it. And Liberians now $2 billion, it was going to make a greater impact in their lives. But today we get 1.2 billion with no impact in our life because Mr. Kumi was going to do it and cut down useless. Who's that?
Amigo, right?
So Mr. Kumi said he was going to raise the country budget to $1 billion and he was going to cut down wasteful spending. But today our people raise the budget to $1 billion and increase wasteful spending and then increase taxes on with the Liberian people. So for me, I can't really understand.
Well, all right.
Ali, you missed. Ali, before we go to the video, I think the video will be like when we come from the break. Ali, I think you missed the most important part. It was the same government when the finance minister, I think it was in 2025, when they raised the alarm about the growing debt that came from the Weah administration, that our external debt was almost to the tune of $1.5 billion. So right now, our debt to GDP ratio is almost 60%. So you ask yourself a question: the people who are complaining that Georgia increased the debt in 6 years, then 130 days in 12 years, why would they be taking additional $200 million in debt?
Piling it up, keep piling up.
I thought that's why you got campaigned against. That the previous government was so reckless that our debt now, the total debt start in Liberia now, I think is $2.69 billion with a B.
Yep.
Like I said, almost 60% of your entire GDP. So it means if you sell all the goods and services in Liberia, the debt alone cover up to 60%. Then why will a government go and take another $200 million, which is $250 million? Well, I'll leave it right there.
But you know, maybe before you go, let me just add it all real quick. People are even forgetting. Are you aware that Guinea's military budget is exactly half of your whole country budget?
Oh yes,
$600 million against $1.2 billion you get.
About 50%, right there.
50% exact. And then you talk people sitting in Liberia excoriating and trying to malign other people when they point these things up. People are just forgetting that. Guinea's budget is half of Liberia's whole budget where your country knows about. They make it appear like some kind of
you're talking national security issue.
Where over on the side, you know.
Every time you call Guinea me, then you are talking national security issue. Only people.
So I'm trying to declassify. So that's what we're speaking about it. But I just wanted to point out, also people can give it a thought. Your whole budget, is half of Guinea military budget. Just the military budget. And you say you're the mayor equal. Please, man, let's move on, man.
But here's a point with everything that we are saying here. How are we spending this money? How are we using this money? Are the money reaching out to the woman there in Bekonjile? Are the money reaching out to the people there in Grand Crew who've been protesting a few times, especially our marketeers, our market women? Are the money really reaching out? Because even the vice president in his interview yesterday talked about how they are now intend to infuse some money into the banks to give to the people for loan. Which loan? Every time you give me loan that our people can benefit anything. So don't even, I don't know if these statements are just political statement that most say maybe after the break up for me. I think we can just start with that before even going for the news break more, because
there's a political statement in there.
The vice president also accused the citizen of also doing business for foreign people. How this thing happen? Who are those people? So you all know these things. You people are our leaders.
They're fronting for people. They are fronting for people.
Exactly.
The problem,
and the vice president knows about it. You know.
The vice president get talking about we doing business with foreign people, but today we get a Liberian company, I think AMR or something like that been fighting on the Putu Iron Ore mining project, and today they taking it and giving it to an Indian company. You see,
but baby, your question, Ali, what you talking about? Not only that, the vice president have been instrumental in depriving all the Liberian company have paid for projects in our place.
Yes, the city yellow machine. He did the city.
You got KBK over there during the weird time. They brought all the yellow machine in the country. They had the capability, and you took it from there and gave it to a Chinese company. Then you come back and tell people, you say, oh, but Liberian people, they're foreign, how do you call it, they're fronting for foreign companies. Are you kidding me?
But you get more than half of your lawmaker and senator that provide logistical support to companies in Liberia. So how you criticize people that are fronting for the foreign?
That's the point. That's the point, Mo. So
including the vice president himself.
Because Mo,
talking inside the mouth.
I think it's a serious contradiction. Maybe I think they who are the leaders, they are the one maybe doing these things, but you don't want to come straight and say no. I think we are the ones that are always, selling for the foreign companies here and there.
That's right, what you get
Liberian businesses. Because I think what I'm saying, and what all of us are always saying. Because for me, I'm still getting it, like even streamers. Let's just say this: Musa Bedete. What happened to Musa Bedete quite recently? Who brought Musa Bedete down from 0.35 cents to 0.02 cents?
Yeah, a Liberian company for that matter.
They want to put all the power and concentrate all the power, including regulatory power and control to LPRC. And this means will be vice president. And that's a potential president for your country. They tell me
you cannot be. LPRC is not an importer and the regulator. I mean, what sense it make?
The referee and the player. LPRC, but men telling you, number two in comment telling you that citizens are fronting for foreigner.
Yeah.
Go take a seat.
And drink some coffee, bro.
The other nonsense, they reset the link back before project. Lati, it really get into me. Really?
The public-private partnership?
You want to tell me you couldn't get at it to Liberian people? But you're taking, how many Liberian companies in Sierra Leone? Like
but Ali, do you know that those things will even help Liberia to get a lot of millionaires?
You see?
But no, you go to Sierra Leone and give a company, that kind of thing. Mind you, that company, I've been told that it's operated by Mother Bios, I think brother or in-law or whatever it is.
Oh yeah,
that's a Sierra company. And that's why you see that President Baka got all the time to Bio, because at the end of the day, it's an interest-based situation. They can be in Liberia and they still hold share in the company over there. That's their interest right there.
Everything.
You know what I mean? For you, Liberia to go be giving Sierra company road construction work, when in fact, please, man, look.
You see, this is
go to break and come back, man. Go to break and come back.
Papa retirement check. That's why he make it like 16 years.
He sold that project to Australian company because he know he get his interest. That guy, he get that project to now. That guy, you know how many projects the government gave it to? The people gave project to their own people.
Yes.
Now listen to Ghana president. The amount of development are going on in Ghana. He said we are going to give this project to Ghanaians so they can develop their own country if the damage is up to them. You see, they will say I brought foreign people and they took our money and carry by. See what?
But who built China? Let me ask you people, Monk, Brother Aliu, and that of AB. Who built China?
The Chinese. Who else?
Chinese.
Okay.
The Japanese built Japan after Hiroshima. Japanese built Japan. Okay? And all of these countries, even Singapore. Singapore or Barbados, but the people of Singapore. And that is a country that had nothing in less than 50 years ago. All right? And today, they are the beacon of hope and development and financially viable. Now, you have a country, you get a vice president talking too sour a mouth in this place. I'm sorry. You went over there, you're talking about those companies. Just yesterday, you told the Liberian that the Putu Mountain, you're giving it to a foreign company. Mind you, Liberian government is only obligated to that Chinese, that Russian company because of the sanction situation. They can't operate in Liberia. So they've been looking for literally like buyers to get their money back. All Liberia should have done, at least $40 million infused to pay that man off.
Yes.
The access become for Liberia, and you can empower Liberians. That place.
You see?
And, you know?
See the money you get to Babi for. You could do the same thing to pay that man off and get it.
Today you're talking about yellow machine. You talking about giving $51 million to Brani Samuka to operate to run rail machine. If you get that $1 million, why you get paid $40 million to somebody and they leave your resources alone and you can manage it?
And you manage it for
Liberia. Those people,
or AB. Yeah, the whole yellow machine project, yellow for some private enterprise, they manage all the rules in terms of the repair and the rehabilitation. And
privatize the thing, especially with Liberian privatize it, and that would be an empowerment for Liberians.
But I can understand something on the yellow machine business. Because the money they're spending, even for maintenance or whatsoever, is more than the money that they bought the machine with. But again, you want to tell me for now my container overseas going to Liberia and I finish do my payment, everything for my container to go to Liberia. So if the shipping line take my container and carry it to Ivory Coast, you think I'm going to pay another money again to the shipping line for them to take my container from Ivory Coast to bring it to Liberia? This is what happening. You have finished paying the people everything for your machine. They took it, they carry it to Ivory Coast, and now they give you Samuka another $4 million again to take the machine from Ivory Coast to bring it to Liberia. Why these people keep stealing and misusing?
Listen, Aliyu, that thing in the local parlance, what people can say that Kalabole over there. So the fact of the matter is that those machines, what made you think the first set of machine that came, you saw that would die on some of them?
Yeah, like I have to say you are working. They say every Ghana for that machine, put on the load, go put it on the ship.
So like some of those machines, the reason they tell you if you're going to have a Chinese company, the Chinese company got nothing to do in Ivory Coast. If you bought a first consignment directly from China, according to you, why transition to Ivory Coast? And then you're asking the government when you find the thing have been budgeted. So is it operating at a deficit here now? Because if you budgeted something at the end of the day, then you take it to another country, they say, oh no, you can't get $4 million for how to go bring it. Right? Are you kidding me? But again, I know maybe I'm going to the newsroom or he's about to.
Yeah, I think the news break, I mean, they should be on the news bulletin by now. Well, a lot happening, but that's what we signed up for.
Yeah.
Leadership. I mean, we can do about it. And now they want the people that are there, they know they're going through it, they know what they are going through. But like I said, everything in Liberia is a scheme to maintain your political power. You care less about what happened to the country in the end. So whether Joseph Baga borrow another $1 billion that will be stuck for generations to repay with interest payment, they could care less. So that's it. That's the price you pay every election cycle. You will pay, the thing about election is you will pay a price one way or another. You just got to calculate how much you'll be paying for your decision. So everyone, when you think election, I've been looking at point like every election you were talking, they get dancing in the street, they think entertainment. Like you will pay on that you don't know how to pay, and you will see it happening to you every day because individual don't change country. The government can change your country. So the whole idea that people criticize, they're not helping. I say, well, name me one country that one individual bill.
It's a prerogative.
Your own leadership, you can't do it. Individual country. Are you crazy?
Yeah.
The richest man, Elon Musk, and the whole world, even built a country before that. Who's built
but even the individual that are willing to contribute, you call all of them door.
Yeah, you call them door. Ain't talking about somebody else you can't take government responsibility. Yeah. What make a stupid decision again 3 years from now? Nonsense, people.
I'm telling you, man.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Anything in wrong country.
Yeah.
I saw them some and making how they are collaborating with some team from California.
California with some rice project or something.
Yeah. I said, what? Net exporter? You can't even feel our poor here. We are almost going to 4 years into a presidency. You're talking about we'll be exporting, right? To who?
Yeah. They just take you to be, they bamboozle you with these lies and want you to live with it.
Yeah. Like bros will be a net exporter of rice.
Yeah, because they won't put you under the pressure that the president can't and go in with something.
Yeah. You want the poorest country in the whole world. You since I tell you can export rice. Export rice to who? Either one is producing fresh. Let people get enough.
When you get self-sufficient, then you talking about exporting.
Yeah. You will get food security to be exporting rice.
Yeah.
How long that project will take? We're already going to the second half of the main administration.
Yeah.
Former agriculture minister of all people.
Yeah. That yellow machine here going 2 years now. You're still operating. You can't come down. Then you're talking about you bringing rice equipment. You want to do mechanized farming for exportation. You know why? When it's going to take to even get started? At least to talk about the production part of it and the exportation. You know, please. This guy, they just take you that you're some kind of crazy man.
Stupid people. So accepting.
Yeah.
So gain credit because we won't promote the unity party led government. Like
of course. Can we be a precinct?
I come into sit here for 2 hours on Truth FM or Sktv to come promote lies.
Because I coming from somewhere that no sensible people there.
Yeah. Want me to come and do that? Yeah, they did do something good with say. On that day. We're going with the reality. If you want to answer that nonsense, that's on you. That's not my job.
On you.
You know what I mean to be a net exporter?
Yeah.
You know what kind of structure you must put in place? Even the great Togo administration, we were still not net exporter.
No.
A lot of programs, and you telling me the man who confused, he even get a clear agenda, going to be net exporter under him.
Yeah.
Are you that dumb to even buy that nonsense? It making any sense to you?
That's why they want to put you on a typical example. Like I was listening to some guy today, Monk. You talk about Liberia going to be producing eggs. Just say it's new to Liberia. Monk, before the crisis in Liberia, Liberia was producing egg through the Bright Farm. They used to call it Bright Farm. It was somewhere in our Kagata area beyond the place that they call Bright Farm. They were producing eggs in our country, and they were supplying eggs to the supermarket and on the market over there.
Oh yeah.
And they even the chicks and everything, they were selling it. Liberia were not bothered with those things. So it's not like a new thing. But today, you talk about it, I think last year or so. But today, the air price that you say they're producing egg in Liberia, and the air price is more than when you didn't talk about it. I don't understand all of this thing anymore. I don't understand it.
The egg price higher than when the man announced it.
Yeah. So you better don't make an announcement about it. Yeah. Don't talk about it. Let it regulate itself. So I don't understand it, because the essence of production, if you got locally produced commodity, the goal is to have reduction in prices, because you're going to flood the market without.
Yeah, to flood the market with the product fresh. They the average making afford. They talk about looking for external market.
They looking for external buyers and other things, but that's not the case yet. They come with force in platitudes of lies to people, and they will be celebrating. And they like to say, man, at least man, we managed to read ABC a little bit too.
No, the idea is there are a lot of things going in the country. The paper working, okay. That's just what it's all about, and that's what they want you to.
Somebody passing around singing developmental acebo to you, all the kind of nonsense.
Development. I see that long. I say, when you do a whole feature, he passing around, he call you say, I see what the poking
and they understand that why I said somebody started attacking him, because I know him very well. We all used to pray to the mosque together in Sanoya there. I know him. So I say, all the thing you doing now, the government in power that 6 years, yeah. Instead of you be passing around doing developmental asibo, the opportunity to go to school and learn something. Tomorrow, when the government leave from power, you will not regret that.
You jumping.
They started to attack me. Oh, your own Muslim brother, you put him more on him. I say, you're sorry. Yeah.
All day jumping, yeah, Cristiano Ronaldo developmental asibo. They all want. Morgan jumping around like developmental asibo.
Oh no, man.
I can be looking at him like this guy. Oh, God. Why you think that man HOB? I mean, saying you know.
I mean, a little boy, man. Just by looking at him, he's a little kid or something.
No, but Ali, maybe he might be a terrorist. You know that young fella.
Yeah. He a terrorist.
He could be a terrorist or something. Yeah, you're right.
So that man middle age. I mean, 11 students in like bro is 68. So you can be your terrorist, you little boy. No,
I know, right?
Or you 18 or 19, and I can say you little boy.
Yep.
You telling me you already halfway through.
Yeah.
And he just jumping with it development.
I see have a continue here again. Never shable. They say your yellow machine and I real. I see continue there. I'll put on one hell of a shape.
But my man, the Phoenix get it for $4.7 million. What you expect?
$4 million. So they not take
big.
$4 million for what?
Oh, to bring up an Ivory Coast.
Oh yeah. Then the deployment in the supplemental budget of $4.9 million.
Yeah. So the money is available. So definitely they will tell you in that reach. Big, man. You don't even know these guys. Yeah. Bro, let me tell you this thing. The whole strategy is to empower Brownie Samuka again financially. To unseat Senator Jala in that local county. That's the goal. That's the goal of a unity party. Pray tell me, you buy a machine for $21 million more, and just to operate it for a year, you tell them I'm gonna give you $51 million to settle it down. I mean, what's the rationale here? What's the rationale here? Privatize the whole damn thing and let somebody operate it. And then and that would be it. But the maintenance of the machines, it becomes another budget, because the people, the understanding they put on at the time was more, they will bring it in and they'll operate it for certain until 5 years or how many years, and they'll provide all of the services for the maintenance. And now today is a different ball game. It's a different ball.
Bringing those yellow machines in the country. You don't even say hub or storage for them in the various counties.
But that one they want you to get in the money now.
Yes.
So now the money get $5.9 million for get the deployment of the machine. Like $5.9 million.
Yeah.
So right now they coming to call for another money again, maybe about 50 or 20 million to base storage for in the.
But no, but Ali, there where the $51 million come from for the year. There where the $51 million coming from to deploy it, and then the facility they're going to build for the maintenance and everything else. That was $51 million to operate a year.
But it be that what I said, the initial procurement of the machine, when the public push back against the yellow machine, those men will find any way and any
to still get to that amount
money back. That's just why they are doing all the things.
Still get to that amount, because cumulatively now you're talking about $51 million and $21 million. It's almost $80 million you're talking about. Yeah,
very different.
Yeah. Because that's where the mama car came from first with the $80-something million, and they beat on her, but today they're still finding a way to get around that same figure.
Yep, getting closer to it, if not the exact amount, but very.
That's what they call perseverance. You gotta keep pushing to get what you want, and that's what they're doing.
Baby, you back?
Welcome back. Or the news still on? Okay.
But I will move to B Mountain this year. B Mountain is projected to produce 370,000 ounces of gold this year, 2026. Probably this year, B Mountain will be paying some $18 a share because they've gotten most of their investment. They are in a stage where they have to pay. If you look at direct, indirect taxes this year, B Mountain is projected at paying a minimum of $250 million. On the hard side, they could be paying up to $300 million. But I will move to B Mountain this year. B Mountain is doing. B Mountain is projected to produce 370,000 ounces of gold this year, 2026.
Yeah,
Probably this year, B Mountain will be paying probably anything to last year because they've gotten most of their investment. They are in a stage where they have to pay. If you look at direct, indirect taxes this year, B Mountain is projected at paying a minimum of $250 million. On the hard side, they could be paying up to $300 million. But I will move to.
All right. So yeah, folks, we'll be back after the news break. Thanks to you guys. I was really enjoying the discussion behind the scene, especially when it comes to the issue of the yellow machines. You know, these things we've been talking and we'll keep talking when we talk. Sometimes some of our people will have that way of thinking. Sometimes, especially our people who think better. Sometimes some of them they will respectfully agree, disagree, and some of them they will have their own say, which of course that's the best way to go. But at the end of the day, some of our people who are blindly into politics, sometimes they see these things as a way of doing politics or maybe as a way of maybe praising the politician. But now, yeah, are we today with the yellow machine situation that you mentioned, even though we're not on the radio when we're talking. How we going to benefit from the yellow machines? How the yellow machine going to be used? That's another question. And yellow machine enter into supplementary budget from the real budget and all the kind of things. Where are we heading to with all of these kind of more things instead of Liberian companies, or in fact, even if not one, maybe one or two companies will be able to have their machines, and maybe if we have any kind of more manual role, maybe servicing or something that we want, we go to the company and say, okay, we want to contract you people at least maybe from here to, for example, those of other live to put road, maybe from Chupepe Junction inside, maybe to Wawa and there, we want you to pick greater that road for us. And I think that these are things that I think our government should be doing, because our government will be able to protect and to maintain these things. That'd be free. And I guess that tomorrow, as some of us saying right now, tomorrow we will see our yellow machines that will be hearing that some of the machines here and there, people getting their own conflicting, people giving information on confirmed reports, what the yellow machine are, we're using the yellow machines and here and there back to back. But the point here is, how are we going to, let's see about talk, and the Facebook is seriously giving hard time, like I was saying. By the way, let's move on. I think the YouTube is active, but the Facebook, I think they have some difficulty. So yeah, go ahead. So with the yellow machine, yeah, that's the situation. Money will be there for the yellow machine again. Every budget year for maintenance for people to be taking pay and yeah, and they're back to back. But at the end of the day, we will still have contractors. We will still have the Chinese contractor to come and build our roads. Then what the essence?
Monk, you there?
And not for politics. Then
Yeah,
what's the reason?
I think Monk is silent. But maybe the question there is that every time you get construction, like what happening with the overhead bridge thing right now, the Chinese company are over there, they're bringing their own equipments. Okay, if you're exhausting this exogenous amount of money on yellow machine project, yellow machine that coming in, they're not coming paved road. All they're going to do, they're going to be maintaining the feeder roads and those, grading roads around the place and so on and so forth. That's all they're going to be doing. Okay, and at the end of the day, even the know-how, the maintenance part of this project is very cardinal. Maybe this is not the first time for you to have decentralized public works machines operation in Liberia. You had a station in Kakata. You had a station in Banga. You had a public works station every regional capital of the Republic of Liberia. You go to Ganta, you have public works yard there. So it was the case. They used to do this thing. So it's not a brand new thing to Liberia. But the political part of it, it was never even publicized like this. You understand? It's like you're doing something, you say you want to gain from it, but you're literally exploiting the people. And this is the case about it. So anytime you bring a road construction, be it whatever part of the country, and especially an international company that come in, that's part of their overhead expenditure they're going to exhaust for that contract by bringing their machines and everything in. They're not going to contract, oh, you get yellow machine over there, so yeah, we'll use it. They don't need it. They're going to, especially if they are reputable entities, they're going to bring all of their technologies and their equipments to do those things. And, you know, but it's unfortunate. Maybe I saw you putting that video of the vice president talking about how much money is going to leave Liberia from that bead mounting. I've been made to understand, I stand corrected, Ali is here. Not a single concrete house is in our environment around that region. Not a single paved road there. Paved road. But they're taking away billions of dollars away from people. If the people operating right now, they're not developing the place, when they shall exhausted everything over there and gone by their business, that when the place going to get developed, bomb mines were operating bomb mines. If you go to bomb mine company, Mayborn at the time before the crisis, like in some kind of European place. So was the case with Lamco. But today, people are living in tents in those areas. When all the resources gone from the place, that when the country going to get developed.
Hey, but let me stop you right there. The vice president misspoke, or those figures he was giving are legitimate, because I don't understand. He said now they are in the stage of paying, which are very, very confused of. I don't know in terms of taxes or royalties, because he said 370,000 ounces of gold, and for 2026 he was quoting 2026 figures.
Yeah, you're going to compete that among the.
I look at the price of gold.
Yes, the price of gold. Yeah,
they gold of $5,000 a couple of weeks ago, right?
Yeah.
This morning, gold was trading at $4,608 an ounce. So when you do basic mathematics, it would, which means for this year alone, they will make in excess of 1.7 billion.
There you go.
Malcolm telling me that Beer Mountain is giving Liberia $250 million a year in taxes and royalty, or maybe he got something wrong. It doesn't add up to me.
I think it might be forced a little bit, but
I think that's a month. I don't think another thing going to be added, but maybe if you want us to listen to him again, maybe for the second
part. Yeah, I was confused on that. Let's
listen. Let's get some clarity on it.
Yes. Let me see.
But I will move to Bead Mountain this year. Bead Mountain is projected to produce 370,000 ounces of gold this year, 2026. Fortunately, this year, Bead Mountain will be paying some property and things like that, because they've gotten most of their investment. They are in a stage where they have to pay. If you look at direct, indirect taxes this year, Bead Mountain is projected at paying a minimum of $250 million. On the high side, they could be paying up to $300 million.
Well, Mark, I don't know whether you people get it clear. I don't know, but if you say about I think it's clear.
The reason I asked that question, AB, because I know when you're telling me that the figure that he's giving is 2026 figure, it means Beer Mountain will make at least 1.7 billion, like I said, right? So Jeremiah can tell the Liberian people that Beer Mountain is going to pay more indirect and indirect taxes, including other royalties, more than what ArcelorMittal gave Liberia for almost 20 years.
Yeah, but you got to compete. You got to compete that amount. I don't know the percentage because I've not put it on the computer. To calculate it. But if you're competing the 300 some more 1,000 ounces you're talking about, again the prevailing market rate right now, like you stated, I think about 4,000 or something, and then you so many billions. Then what percentage of it he's talking about? I understand.
I don't get it. And why Liberia sticking it? Because it doesn't out of the mouth, doesn't. You telling me Beer Mountain will give Liberia more money, which will be equivalent to almost 20% of the entire national budget within a single year?
Yeah.
How much they've been paying over the remaining years, going back to that.
So that competition has to be done to see.
And nobody there asking in studio. Nobody even there to question him.
Yeah, because People don't go and prepare for the place. You got to make a research.
And there where I have serious issue with some of the interview, because some of the interview will just be the self-managed control.
Yeah, yes,
you can ask some of the tough questions because we want to move forward. We don't even know how we even move forward because the vice president coming to come up. The vice president quite recently went to be Mountain. His physical expression, people, the vice president not too happy with the way he sees things. So even apart from that money that you talk about, did you ever mention about the livelihood of our people, the workforce, people who are now being paid, who are underpaid, and all of these things? No.
You bet to King Job before?
No.
Okay, when I come, we go there. Go see the horses the people in. You see horses there because when they blast, when the ground shake, some of the horses they crack. When go see the kind of horses the people in. Some of the way we can say lay Jackie. Yeah, we all they go down. Go look at the road. When your woman say pregnant, you take time when she ride on that road to reach from King George to Diane Star on motorball. When she gets strong resistance, her belly will move. Go look at the road. From King George to Diane Star on the main road. Go see the way
these are things for me, but these are things that I was really expecting our vice president to even talk about first, about all of the allegations, accusations about foreign people washing cars, other people doing the just imagine though, the vice president also accusing Liberians of prioritizing foreign people over them. But they were in leadership. They also taking the Liberian people jobs and giving it to the foreign people. They have car washer. They have people that who can sweep. They have other people that who are mechanic. They have all of these people, and most of these people they are making thousands of dollars per month. But you have your own Liberians that who are making nothing. But you want the country to grow. I don't even get it.
Yes, those talking guys are working in the mess. Some of them they are mechanic. All of these things, as if to say Liberia don't have mechanic. Liberia don't have people to prepare food and other things. Yes, those Turkish people they are all there. Like I said, they will bring those guys from Turkey. Liberians are the ones that can even train them how to operate the drill rig, how to drive in the mine, the ADT truck and thing there. At the end of the day, Liberians are still making $400. Those guys, their Monday allowance alone are about $3 Liberian salary. I'm talking about their full salary now. You see?
But you got, I think, Ali, for me, I could care less about their social impact or the contribution they are making. I just want to know, because those numbers just doesn't make any sense to me. I don't care about the rules or the living conditions because I know that's standard operating procedure in Liberia, especially from our lawmakers and other people who are supposed to be looking after the Liberian people. The figure just doesn't make sense. And it ties into the narrative that if beer money going to give Liberia $250 million in direct and indirect taxes in a single year, then why you still want to take a loan? And you want to tell me that a Meter, one of the largest employer in the country, will look at 20 years and give us $200 million in sign up bonuses, and Bill Mountain going to single year. And there's national budget. Can you imagine of all the concessions in Liberia, the total amount that Liberia took, it was less than $50 million. I'm talking about all the companies in Liberia in the taxes, and you telling me one company within a single year is on track to give Liberia $250 million in royalty. I really want to know how that happened because the numbers. It sounds too good to be a model of miracle. I haven't seen it before. But maybe the vice president will clarify because we're on the radio, so who knows? Well, I'm not getting it right. It doesn't matter.
And Mark, I don't know, I saw your comment also on the Verity News online about the former landmass minister, William Pay, also his own assertion when it comes to the vice president's statement. I don't know why we're going with our country, but Mark, I think things are not really going the right way. And some of our leaders, our leader pretending, let me just use maybe this way more, because I see your comment, you say, yes, interesting indeed, on the Verity News where the former minister have to tell the vice president or nothing that's the right way, going all the things.
The thing is, Wilmot Pay question the whole business model that those guys are using when it comes to the mining sector. Wilmot Pay believe that Liberia is not getting the most from her resources. So if Wilmot Pay is saying that the model we are using is wrong and we're not getting that more, then how can one company, like I said, give us $250 million in a year, which means I'm wishful thinking that's a lot. So maybe they give our vice president something because, like I said, how do you even reconcile the numbers. $250 million in the single year. You know what that means, Nebo? And I know that ArcelorMittal is a much bigger company with more investment abroad than BA Mountain. So you're telling me why ArcelorMittal cannot give us in a decade, BA Mountain will give us in a year?
That's the normal routine. Whenever our government officials go to these places, before they leave from there, they get good envelope. They know what they can get. That man went over there. All I go and think he saw, he know what he got from there. So he, like you said, maybe somebody will call here to clarify or to make up to.
No, but Aliyu, the thing about it is that if the president is, vice president doing such a visit, quite honestly, the appropriate person to be speaking about those kind of calculations, those kind of production should be the mines minister.
Yeah, the land minister
should be speaking to the specifics.
They have been misplaced in that country.
You got the specificity of the situation should be spoken about by the specialist in the area, who happens to be the land mine minister, Martin Ketingba. But if you're going to have a vice president who is a novice to mining activities and all of those things, I mean, what says you? Because the monk is stating that whatever royalty or taxes or whatever it is, cumulatively for a year, $200 some more $million. I mean, why it's true is a minute portion of the entire billions of dollars that they're getting for the year, but comparatively, it's way more than the biggest company you got in the country.
Oh yes, yes,
so
indeed.
Up to now, there have not been explanation or clarification on the specifics of what you were talking. He's not a specialist in the area. The specificity that you're given, I mean, it's hard to come by. It's hard to be explained in essence of whatever they will be paying back to Liberia. So maybe they will do that in due course. I don't know. But hey, this is what you get. Everything is political.
Let me just see it this way. What the vice president is telling us is, let's just assume I gave you $1,700, and you are telling me you're going to chip in maybe like $250 out of $1,700. You're talking about anywhere between 17 to 18% of the total production cost and the return from BA Mountain. Like I said, compared to other concessions and what is reflected in the national budget, BA Mountain is not new in Liberia. So what happened that they will get Liberia $250 million in a single year? Looking at the history, why is the average contribution of BA Mountain to the national budget of Liberia? That's the first thing you should look at. Like I said, for 2024 budget, all the concessions in Liberia, when you put them all together in the whole country, they make up for less than 50 million. You telling me one company will get 5 times more than everybody in the country combined in a single year? So I thought he misspoke. That's what I thought initially, but it seemed like he was just giving some numbers, but the numbers, like I said, it's not making sense.
The man was politically trying to impress the country.
Yeah,
you want to portray it as if the government is doing a lot, like you get a return on investment. So yeah, it's logical that we deal with B Mountain because the return on investment here is very good for the country. That's the kind of I believe I would deduce from the whole conversation, man.
Then let they just say that one player stop wasting our country resources, passing around to be borrowing. If they will be getting that kind of money from BA Mountain alone.
Oh, we can pay a good portion of the national debt. That alone will take almost like 25% of the debt in 1 year from one company. But maybe I get Octavia. Let Octavia be the first caller today, and then
yes, indeed. Go ahead, Mark. No problem. Go ahead. Go to the line to hear from our people.
Yeah, how you guys doing, Mark? Man, we're doing okay. You're live on Sktv and Truth FM.
Yeah, how you guys doing?
Good. We are okay.
We're okay, man.
Thank you. Yeah. I mean, I'm so excited again to be back on this platform again. I've been listening for a minute. The one thing I observed now today, we Liberian, more especially those of us that are in the diaspora, we have to rethink and kind of sit down, say what actually do we really want for our country and what we want to see. Why am I saying this? Because it seems like what we're doing we are not strategic. We do a lot of talking. We've been doing it for years, and I myself are included in that particular phrase. One, I listen to you guys talking about that. Every single successful person on this earth needs death to survive and to live. It left for you to see how you see it, including me. Death is not a bad thing. It's the way in which you use it. One, the IMF give you money not to help your country, not to help your people, but to have leverage over you and to control you and how you spend your resources, how they control you. That's it, period. It's the same way this great United States, the most corrupt entity on earth is the bank. But how many Liberians would call the bank a scammer? None of them. So it comes down to education. If we're going to change our country, let me just say this before I leave. If we're going to change our country, we have to be very smart. Everything we can say, we can talk for years. We've been doing for years. It will not change it. If we're going to change our country, we will have to be very honest with ourselves and suspend the Constitution. That would be the first thing to do. Nobody on earth, I know it will sound stupid to some people, but where will you start from? You don't have a country. You don't have a system. Everything is done. There's nothing functioning that makes sense. So if we're going to change our country and be serious, the first thing is to suspend the Constitution, cancel all concession agreement with past government, and then begin to invest in the people, which of course education, agriculture, healthcare. Look at Army, 2,000 people protecting your army. We're joking. So we can talk all along. And now is the time for we Liberians in the diaspora to say, you know what? We cannot just be talking on Facebook. We got to come together with one goal, one objective, and be serious and say, we can sit outside the country, but we can make decisions in it. But most of everything that we do, we're spending money in the country. But we can see the impact because we are afraid. And when we come together, somebody will move from among us and switch again. So this is the time for us to make some tough decisions. If we're going to elect somebody or we're going to support somebody, we got to make sure these people are serious. We cannot just keep, choosing, my corrupt friend. Then you move from there, you choose your corrupt. They will not prosecute nobody because all of them are in the same thing. So I just want to say, y'all thank you, but sometimes that's why, some of us we just back up a little bit, but our problem is so deep that bro was built on corruption, and before it stops, you have to find a different mindset to change it. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Octavia. Thanks. All right, guys. Wow, that was great.
Yes, indeed. We will respond. Some of us will respond to his call. Again, 07702031225. I like his call because he talk about unity among you people there from the US, and that's one thing that some of us will be yearning for forever so long. Hello to this first caller, David King. David, good evening.
Good evening, Nibor, and let me say good afternoon to the guys in the diaspora. This is David King from the Concerned Liberian for Justice. You see, Nibor, we are at a crossroad. This country, under the Unity Party, everything has been done in this country. It has been done based upon the BN level. Look, you saw the physical expression of the vice president when he visited Beer Mountain after they took the block of gold and put it in your hair. You saw the physical expression. So when the vice president will come now and start telling us what Beer Mountain is making on a Liberia and what Liberia to benefit, the guys are already taking what belongs to them and from the Liberian people. So we are just here on the surface to be the one to be suffering while they are there enriching themselves. People do not care about this country. They do not care. If people will stand the second that will last until 2050 something. And it tells you that Liberia is not for anything good as it relates to our growth. And even the economy we're talking about, to make the economy to be what we all expect it to be, it will not grow under this government. This government will just see, and it's dead in the last 12 years.
All right. Thank you so much, David King. To this caller, good evening.
Yeah, this is good evening, my dear brother Maple. This is Jeremiah Shia with the district remain district number 6 North Survival County. Thank you for our great show. You know, it's laughable. When I listen to the vice president speaking and blaming Liberian, that Liberian, you know, showing too much interest, or some of them they pretending to be business owner and they're trying to cover all the dealings of the foreigner in the country and all those kind of things. It beat my imagination because this is a vice president, I guess, visited the big mountain. He went there, I guess he saw truckers driving or truck. He saw them driving pickup. He saw some of them they cooking. He saw some of them washing cars. And those jobs belong to Liberians. Is he not aware that the labor minister gave almost 11,000 job permits to Bujola and Liberians are going to be doing to foreigners? Is he not aware? Is he not aware? Second man in the country, and then you bring in Liberians for doing something. When you sit on a high table to make decisions that will transform the life of your people. You're not even speaking in that direction, but then you're saying, oh, Liberian, Liberian always, is not decent, and Liberian will come and be pretending, as they will say they own the business and they ain't know. So what are you doing about it? We just will be hearing words. What we need now is
a solution, right? We're looking for a solution now. We're not looking for a way to be shifting blames back to back. All right, we know the problem, and we're looking for a solution to this. Caller, good evening.
Good evening, and good evening to the fellow panelists. This is the chairman. I represent the concern of Branch of Justice. Labor Mark said, and I quote, she said, the safety of the bourgeois demands that the foreigner be kept in a profound ignorance. And that is what we're seeing because of the kind of mindset we got, because these people are refused to invest in our education. The education center is so weak, Liberians are not thinking critically. So they are not asking a hard question. How on earth will this vice president come to the international podium, take the stage, stay on platform, and they say Liberian jobs are going to foreigners? When in fact, this is the chief architect of giving our jobs to foreigners. Therefore, don't forget, this is the vice president are involved in the yellow machine deal. How did it happen? There is a company called Caterpillar and home out Liberia. Caterpillar is trying war, they're trying fight, going to court because they said that they were wrong for it, trading out the deal. They said they were to win the contract to bring in yellow machines. Now move on to the issue that has to do with the LPMR and the council ministry. The entire ministry that was created by...
All right, thank you, my dear brother. We are now ready on that. Hello to this caller. Good evening.
Good evening, neighbor.
Yes, go ahead, my brother.
I say this always. This country, these people will not be moved until we ourselves decide for them to move.
Indeed.
If only talking will make the people to move, but it's not moving.
And they know the people, they know how to play on us, though, because they understand everything about us. Everything about us is politics.
They now understand our weakness. They understand our weakness, so they know how to play that game. Can you imagine what bad president will tell all this thing at this time? Like he don't know? He knows. So there's a game to play on us. But we're not doing, we will get there in time. The act of xenophobia, they are the one breathing it now. So if anything happens tomorrow, our leader will be held blame. Because all these things happen, like we're putting ourselves to stay as they running businesses. Because of corruption, is too high, give birth to so many dead acts.
Oh yes,
or they can't give the right out for some of the simple way to pretend like he acting like he's the owner, why he's not the owner. He's not giving signatory to the people's money.
All right.
So
Thank you.
I feel
All right. All right. Thank you, my dear brother. Until we stand up to this caller, good evening.
Thank you. This is Esmoka, and I'm the vice chair for political affairs from South Liberia for Justice. And thanks to you guys, let me say hi to our panelists in the US. When people in the vibe Jeremiah Kumbi speaking, it can sound so funny in the ears of Liberians. Because this is a person that serves as representative, from representative to senator, to senator, to vice president. So you want to tell me you don't know the problem? He know the issue. But this is what they can do. These are the words that they will come up with to have their CDD against the Liberian people. Yesterday you were at B Mountain, calling Paul, saying you were crying. What were you crying for? Hey, because of the bad living conditions of the Liberian people. How come you didn't know that the Liberian people are the victims, the foreigners are the one that benefited? Let's look at this traffic management team that we're talking about. How many times the guys at the transport ministry didn't cry, they didn't protest? Did the prime minister say anything about it? As we speak, the laboratory job was taken from there and given to another foreigner. So why is he saying it? Just so that like I said, I wanted to show the vice president is not there good on the microphone. As well as time, you just stay able, because anytime you come on the microphone, and you take chocolate and tea for the entire rescue government.
All right, thank you. Don't put a name to your trouble now. 0770, we take a few more calls. I've seen some of you calling us on the WhatsApp. You can also place a call on WhatsApp quickly. This of you here to this caller. Good evening. Yes. Yeah, hello, how you doing? Well, that's the only way that you can get rid of your leaders, according to Article 1 of our Constitution. Myself, I don't even like because that's a complete waste of our lifetime. But again, you can't hold your leaders accountable. That's if you people are afraid, you don't want to hold your own children accountable. I heard David Samuel, good evening. Yes, my brother, go ahead.
Thank you very much for your show. I'm still giving all the family. Later on, there is our David Samuel. I get a discussion of communal market and legacy of and we are in the future memo of.
Hello?
Are you getting me?
Yes, go ahead now, I'm getting you.
Okay, thank you very much. Therefore, Liberians are getting fulfilled. You see, the government has very sharp time now to leave power. So, we are fulfilled. We don't know why it's that there's so much borrowing of huge amount of money. Wow, therefore, you see, why are they borrowing of such huge amount of money in this country? Therefore, the people made all the funnel say that our budget has gone to billion plus. The last time we heard that they want to fix them, they now billion. They say we are yearly that they want 200 million in loan. Why is it that they keep so much borrow for such huge amount of money?
We need money. We need money.
They send the thing to power, like US are asking any particular development in the public. At least the Liberians are asking particular development for the angle of the government, when the government is asking for so huge amount, like now say yes, the government is but send the thing to power. No particular development, things tough. They still here they get us to leave power, and they are asking for so huge amount. There is so much worry. What is going on? Like, for us to tell, or is something on that because to tell?
All right, thank you very much. I think this caller, I know you call in fact, but good evening. Go back, my brother. Go ahead, quickly, brother.
I just trying to live better as people live from completely in a break way. Let me
You see how you call it developmental who? Okay. Go ahead, my brother. Okay.
Look at the issue with that LTMIG. Why would the vice president be playing on the mind of the Liberian people? The vice president office is right there, Liberia was dragged in the street when they're protesting. That's what it is.
All right, thank you. Quickly to the other caller, we take one or two more, then we'll cross over to our team. Hello.
Yeah, Mabel, how you doing?
My brother, we thank God for life.
Yeah, so this is Pascal Davis, member of the Concerned Citizen for Justice. I'm the media officer. So, Mabel, the vice president spoke out of ignorance. You know, they really think that everybody like them with little brains. So you said the past government signed those concessions, so you can't go back to undo it. Doing that would mean Liberia is a hostile environment. But I want to ask, you just extended the supplemental due additional 25 years. I mean, let all of us have ask ourselves, if you said the past government had those concessions signed, and if you do, you wouldn't be doing right for our country, even though you consider to be bad. How can you extend a supplemental due when the buyers were crying for bad labor practice? You were right here when there was fewer tensions in Limba. How can you come back and look? When we said you signed 68 concessions at the time with Waka and Ellie, he said Georgia were incompetent. That's the reason why we struggle. How can you come here and look? I mean, these guys have destroyed our country. Well, there's no option. We'll get it.
All right, thank you, my dear brother. Let's move on. Mark, we got to go. At least, brother Ali, we listen to our people. I think they have to say. Okay, let me see quickly, brother. I think Louis Pony want to be the last. Louis, I don't know how come. Well, anyway, that's good. Yes, sir.
Good evening.
How you doing, boss?
I'm doing very well. Bless God. We sit around the fact that we are alive and we're well. We are grateful to God Almighty. Ali, you presented Monk and the U.S. I was desperate panelists. How you guys doing? Good
Man, we're doing great. You've been gone, man. You gotta show up, man.
The politicians are not doing anything to Liberia. And they take a contract with people. Honestly, they are doing very well. I would like to make some correction on the vice president. The vice president didn't form part as an individual of the supplemental extension by practice and by dictates and tradition. The vice president don't vote when there's a tie, though he's president of the Senate, the House of Rep, and the Senate extended it. I don't know about previously, but the current one he didn't partake. The majority extended, and then there's a press conference that came from the office. The 2023, he was in the Southeast campaigning. There were 4 to 5 months, 3 to 4 months for the election, and then B Martin, he was extended up to 2051. Ishwak Banas, the 2026. So I get ready to release this one. Having said that, look at our country. Look at what you guys doing. Look at what President is doing as you take on their time. Look at you, Johnson Kula, take on your time regularly right now in school, trying to get them, but you gotta take on yourself regularly. If you listen to our people, it's just I was saying 90% of the callers, 95% are the regular guys. People don't care. They don't listen, they don't follow. Just look at the colors. Sometimes I try to get new colors to see what we're getting out there. You gotta take your time, you educate, you do all of the analysis. Monk, I leave them, Milburn will take his time every day on a daily basis. We're doing. Our people are not enthusiastic. Our people, yeah, they might be grabbing up, or maybe they kind of weary waiting for 2029. But I don't trust them because the very politician will come back to them and they will help the politician. They will campaign, they will fight with their colleagues bitterly. You will see family rift, you will see friends rift, you will see bad relationships, sour relationship, and it will be on the very people and the very decision we talk about today will start crying. We hope they could change, they could do better. I think the people that profit are the politicians.
All right, thank you, Louis.
Hold on. I will yield my time to Louis. Let Louis continue. I want to get Louis before AB can close up.
Okay.
Louis,
yeah,
okay, that's okay. Then forget it. Go ahead.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Tomorrow,
we'll go tomorrow.
Yeah. I know when we're coming there. Louis got to pay fine, but anyway, Louis.
Maybe he can take over. I don't think I have a closing comment to it.
Yeah. Let me say thank you, Mabel. Let me say thanks to the callers. And this is the interesting part of this show. Whenever the people those are under the brunt of the situation when they're speaking among. It kind of invigorate me to do what we are doing. Is a good thing. Their engagement is very, very cardinal to whatever we're trying to preach to the people. But here's the thing. I think I wanted to respond to Octavius, right? Octavius, is that the name? The guy that called you first, Mong? Mong, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, the name is Octavius, right?
Yeah, Octavius.
Yeah, Octavius, I know he talked about suspending the Constitution. Octavius, unfortunately, the only time this country constitution can be suspended if you have a military takeover.
Yeah, that's it.
But you cannot, operate, or like the situation we had, crisis time, where portion of the constitution was suspended and then operated by all these so-called peace talks and so on and so forth. That was the time. Because then you even had an election where you did not represent representatives, or you did not elect representatives or senators, and of course it became a proportional representation. But be that as it may, if we had maybe a parliamentarian system of government, then maybe the president could unilaterally dismiss the whole entire legislative branch and call for parliamentary election. In some system of government, that's how it operates, but not the case with Liberia. So it's unfortunate. I understand the frustration, but there should be some kind of revolution. Indeed, the legislative branch, primarily for me, I will always speak about them. They are the problem in our country. And that's the situation I just wanted to speak to with regards to Octavia's concern in that direction. We got to keep pushing it, and hold our feet to the fire, so the electric can see that. And then with regards to a lot of the callers, they were pointing out things that today, especially with regards to the vice president situation, he cannot be speaking too far of his mouth, because you cannot be the referee or the decision maker, and then you get out there and literally the man is kind of even indicting his own government for all of the shortcomings, because the thing is happening under your watch. This is your government, Mr. Vice President. So to point out all the problems, or people are fronting, or people are doing this. If people are fronting, it is your labor ministry that is giving all the work permits to people to do. It is your labor ministry that is sitting over there and seeing all of those things. If people are fronting, bring the people to boat. Shame some of them out. That, hey, look, you're not doing your country a good thing. And create the provisions wherein people will not only front. If the man is coming here, bringing his company, and he wants to empower few Liberians to be part of it, that's a good thing. But it should be a known fact that this is the prevailing situation. This man is a shareholder or XYZ, but not just a front for the company, and they literally got no say in it. So that's what I just wanted to point out to. And then he's talking about all of these calculations. Unfortunately, if you go to a mining sector, please leave the expertise to those that are schooled in that area. Let us speak to the specificity of it. But again, guys, maybe I know time fast spent. I know Ali want to come in, or if he's available. But thanks for the time, guys, and thank Mong and everybody. And let me say thanks to the callers too for that time and input.
Yeah, I don't have a year my time today.
Thank you. Well, the problem, like the other caller said, these are some of the things like I always thinking about, because President Waka was then the vice president and president of the Senate when 66 concessions were signed.
There's some noise behind me. I beg you. Grandkids are keeping me busy around here, but that's okay. That's all right.
And he said those concessions were all bogus, and he was the vice president and president of the Senate. He was over all these concessions. And Bwakai told all he was, I was an old car park in the garage. Today, where is Bwakai? He's now the president. And that's what some of the things we expect. Like me, I expected Bwakai now to revisit all those concessions, because at that time he was just an old car. Maybe the senator, they never used to give him chance to do what he want to do. But today he's the president now. Don't you think he got the power to revisit all these concessions? People said they were bookers, to make sure they do it the right way now, that will be in the interest of the country to benefit us. But today, let the ArcelorMittal there were talking. He went, he renewed that contract at $25 years because they were giving 200 million to put in the budget so that Baka then they will take for themselves. Because the entire budget, everything going back to them. They didn't change anything, the ArcelorMittal concession, no. So you say it was just an old car. Today now you in the driver's seat. What have you changed? If you say on the previous administration, they renewed BM Martin contract, so there is nothing you can do about it. What did you people do about the ArcelorMittal? And you people just renewed that. President Baka, you told us that when you become president, Liberians will not suffer for their own food. We don't have to be dependent on anybody for food. This is 3 years now of your administration. You bring in 285 yellow machine. One farming equipment now among those machines. When are you going to bring farming equipment now to the country so Liberia can produce their own food? Because those were some of the things. You say, oh, George, we have a footballer, he became president. He built one stadium in the country till he left. What did he do for sport? Now, you add an agriculturist, you add the president now. What have you done? Look at the agriculture budget. One farm, you even say put together for the country as an agriculturist. Look at the budget. So this government, like I will always say, Joseph Boakai, if he was innovative, developmental oriented, somebody that can will plan a policy to transform the country, he could have done better and he could be the best president. Because his entire government, there is no pushback. He used the legislature any way he want to use them, and they are all yes sir to him, like why they send it. So why is this government struggling when you have everybody under your control? Thank you.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much, Brother Aliu. And let me say thanks to all of our people. We got to go, no much time. So we see it again on tomorrow by the grace of God. We'll be here with you people. Tomorrow will be Wednesday. Maybe we will go more deeper into the topic as to what are Liberians as spectators. Maybe this is a question I will be asking tomorrow as to whether we are more spectators than ever before, or because if you look at all the entire system, for all indications, you will know that our people, they are struggling, their livelihood is not really improving. But again, good night to all of our people, good night to all of you, our followers, our supporters, our well-wishers. Indeed, it's a great show, and good night from our end.
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We talking about podcasts and connecting people and culture from here and up out of the globe. Monitor people who waiting to sell. Blessing that time and the efforts are rest. The brothers giving up here and the parents of them. So welcome my life with African.
I live for health.
Master.
Clay Paris, I can't ask you if you been you. Say my journey, Tina can I say my yamo. And yes, I know money. The more I get you. And you love me. The more I get you.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grand bazaar.
And I dine ya to money, and I salia ya to money, and I quantity ya to money, and I quadu ya to money, and I dine ya to money, and I salia ya to money, and I quantity ya to money, and I quadu ya to money, and I plug ya to money. That's the thing. And I plug ya cause you work on my ya to money. Yeah.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grand bazaar.
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We talking about podcasts and connecting people and culture from here and up out of the globe. Monitor people who waiting to sell. The flashing that time and the efforts are rest. The broadcast we giving a real and the premise my best. The world with my life with us, yeah. From Grandpa's and Nima to Lufa, from Riverside, River G to Chide, from Pentu, Bombi, Cape Mount, Monserrat, San to Backwalu, from Maryland, Bonkan to the Mikey B. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa.